him, or we're going to see them kind of on the tail end of stamina getting worn out. And yes, we will see a boss fight rollover. However, I wouldn't count them out. They have been proving a formidable team all day against all their opponents. So I really wouldn't be surprised if this one stretches the distance either. I mean, I know we keep repeating that, but at this stage in the tournament, that's why these days are so long. These matches stretch out, they drag out, they go 1 for 1 down to the wire, down to the second, to the minute. And that's exactly what we signed up for, honestly. That's what we want here, especially in the postseason. So I think BossFight has chosen this map with confidence. I think they should be confident in it, considering what we just saw in the previous round versus Mayhem. But if SEAL Team Bravo are here to play and are ready and warmed up now and are sighted in and ready to go, then it could be much harder for them than they think.
Yeah, interesting take on it, and especially the stamina, right? We talked about in the last game. It's who can outlast who in terms of physicality. We're not seeing a lot of subs come in. We're not seeing people trading, round for round swaps or anything. So I mean, it's the same players playing for several hours straight. It's a lot of effort, and it really, at the end of the day, shows who physically is more prepared for the toll that this kind of series can take on you. And I think we're getting very close to getting underway here in map 1 of this last round. I'm curious to see what the chat thinks and what folks in venues are chatting about in terms of who's going to take this series. We are still waiting on those round 2 scores to check in so that we can update the standings and everything, give you sort of an idea of where things are at the end of round 2. But we are kicking off right about now into our next matchup. So let's get into gameplay. See what SEAL Team Bravo on defense brings against BossFight on the offense in the Marsoc spawn.
Yeah, they want to take a point. What they don't know is we might take 2 points.
Right, let's see how the BossFight team opts to split. SEAL Team Bravo in the spawn box, all corners ready to go, splitting across the map, getting into position. Meanwhile, BossFight zoom on over here as they get set up in this southeast corner. A little bit of height on him. Lego looking for that long peek into the center hotel. Diesel just out of reach.
I got no movement. I'm backing up.
Lego. Anyone who's met Lego knows height is one thing he definitely possesses.
Yeah, this window is definitely a boon for him then. A good position for a little bit of overwatch. I mean, Diesel is just out of his sight, and there's a suppressing fire on the cross. We saw them do this against Mayhem earlier, keeping that window suppressed so that they can get across in a dumpster. Now, it has the adverse effect of giving the defense exactly, where the positioning is, how many players are there. A bit more pressure from UC Death there into common spots.
Scooby scanning the brothel now. The backside. He's looking for the right window, but Drunk Drummer is in the left, and Diesel takes a quick scan, but Scooby ducks just in time to avoid being detected. Diesel gonna have some trouble here in a moment once 35 kind of strikes out from his position.
Raz and Stay Calm, both good coverage on the actual objective west side here. If Diesel stays tucked in, he could catch 35 and you see Death on their approach. I mean, he's going to hear those footsteps. If he's not ID'd early, that is all a win for the BossFight squad. Pressure coming in from UC Death now onto 2-story helicopter, just keeping anybody from peeking. And there it is, Lego finding Diesel on the inside of Center Hotel is going to open things up for the south just a little bit. They still got to deal with Drunk Drummer and Raz, though. That's Lonely Viper shots. You can see there. Saw the smoke hitting there and see him laying down on that hill. Ooh, Drunk Drummer catches bullets from Scooby as well. Now he has got to rotate pretty consistently here to try to stay out of the line of fire of two different spots, but he's not out of the line of fire as Scooby as he re-peeks the window and gets punished for it. And now the west is starting to look better and better as the, I'm sorry, the east starts to look better and better as an approach with just Raz and Stay Calm there, but Raz quickly applying the pressure onto 35, pushing out from that dumpster building, just gonna leave UC Death. Oh, he goes for the grenade throw. Oh my god, he almost botches it, drops it there. Oh, swish right into the truck. Not exactly what he wanted, but I'll give him 2 points for effort anyway. You see Death with the response. Nade coming out, almost close enough to grab.
I think Viper's got the angle on Raz. But it won't matter because UC Death will go ahead and solve that problem for him first. Now he's just going to exit from over here with some early fire. And it's just the two remaining defenders on objective. Well, one on objective, Hondo just off with the crosswatch and route approach defense. But Viper going to be scanning those areas, so Hondo going to want to stay out of that doorway if he knows what's good for him. Oh, but he might catch Viper on the rotation. Just a matter of timing here. Could allow Hondo to catch the advantage, but with so many defenders.
Oh, so, Hondo catching around there. Viper not prepared for that other toss. Hondo tosses a nade right out front here, expecting Scooby on the rush. Doesn't spawn him out. Scooby now in the rotation on the backside. 52 seconds left. You see Death, Lego sweeping in from the center, applying pressure onto Stay Calm. It's just Hondo, but Stay Calm does manage to nab UC Death off a center hotel. That's going to make it a bit more of a fair fight here as Hondo trades out with Scooby, and that's a big pickup. Scooby getting that one is going to mean that, yes, Stay Calm has to rush out onto the objective. There was no visibility, and there it is. That is going to be BossFight taking that first round. Really well coordinated. So I think in that case, SEAL Team Bravo gave a little too much real estate to BossFight, right? They gave them so much mobility that by the time it came to that crash on objective, they were in so many different spots and forced so many rotations that they couldn't quite handle all of that work.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent that's true, but it also almost worked. I mean, at the end there, I'm not sure the rush out to check the actual objective front was needed. You should be able to see that stuff through those windows without exposing out to helicopter like was done there towards the end. But, you know, that's fine. It's a decision you make in the moment, and, you know, better to lose that 1 point than to have them cap on you and lose 2. So, but if it were me, I think in that situation, I might have tried to just tuck in there. Not necessarily tuck in where I don't expose myself, because if I get shot that way, that's fine. But I won't necessarily run out like that because the time was very low there. I mean, BossFight was on the forced push. They had no option. They had to come to him. They had to either clear him or get the cap in. Viper was probably too far off to actually get there and get anything done other than the kill in that amount of time. Wedgel was the only real threat there, and at the moment he was protected, so I probably would have stayed in. But other than that, I mean, it's still a good round, a solid defense, but yeah, they probably gave a little bit too much real estate. They also were a bit more brazen about challenging those who obviously had a sightline on him. I mean, Drunk Drummer kind of dancing around in that upper story hostel after being shot at a few times. I might have tried to find an opportunity to escape from there and find a different position rather than just staying up there. But you know, sometimes you get stuck in a place too, and you just have no choice. So I don't really know what was happening in that building per se, so I could just be talking from out of the side of my neck here. But it won't matter. Now BossFight's going to be on the defense, so we'll see if SEAL Team Bravo have anything different than what they had for Mayhem earlier, and if it will be enough to take a point home on Marsoc.
They do get that mirrored spawn. SEAL Team Bravo gonna get that same Marsoc spawn, and Scooby with the quick pickup early, finding Diesel at the White Tower as he rushes out in front. Interesting to try to rush over that hill so quickly. It's such a dangerous cross to make, especially now the defense has that line.
Now Scooby's pushed out towards lower dumpster building. He's tucked in there. He's gonna be the line of defense. He's gonna try and spring a trap. Oh, there's actually a Volk drone in use here from Scooby. He's sending out the Volk drone to use as a kind of an early warning camera system. I like this approach, actually. Something I definitely would expect from the mind of Scooby-Doo and BossFight. You know, always kind of thinking of that high IQ intelligentsia style play, and I like this kind of security cam usage of the drone bot.
Yeah, that is its biggest factor, because when it moves, it does make noise. It's easy to ID, but if you just kind of park it somewhere, this is exactly the kind of thing I was excited for when it came back into the league. Is the use of, basically it's like another pair of eyes, right? It's a sixth teammate, and so an interesting choice there by Scooby to position it there. It's going to help him out when somebody pushes that corner, but if they go West Street, not going to help out too much. He's watching that via the window, though, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. Let's check in with the shots we're seeing fired here as Hondo trades rounds with UC Death, it looks like. Oh, can't... Camera doesn't want to exit that particular doorway for some reason. There we go.
So we're going to find Stay Calm here as he tries to mount the steps near Hondo.
The second guy he's red still up.
And Drunk Drummer going to find 35. Across the other side of the map, excuse me there.
Sniper on Valley Hill, over.
Is Viper going to get the cross map snipe? We got a snipe off here, ladies and gentlemen. Drunk Drummer and Lonely Viper going at it across the map, north to south. And Scooby-Doo actually going to go ahead and ruin the day of Drunk Drummer and ruin Viper's chance at winning the snipe off. How dare you, Scooby?
Scooby doing a great job on that dumpster defense today. It's been working out quite nicely.
Okay.
Hondo getting a lot of pressure applied. He's got a crossfire of lasers here aimed at him. Viper from the hill, and you see Death from down towards, or is that, yeah, that's Helicopter Bungalow.
Raz gonna check the window for Scooby. Maybe no, he makes it by him just in time before Scooby's able to lay the ambush, but I think Raz hears it. Yeah, he's got gun low. He's looking down, checking tablet. He knows that is not a friendly.
Go ahead and in. I know you're right there.
He's trying to do the
Yeah, the mind games.
the mind games, trying to make defense rotate. Scooby's not taking the bait. Lonely Viper knocking Hondo out there in the northeast, and that's just gonna leave Raz all alone here. He's gonna have to play his mind games with himself. Is that utility he's got? Oh, it's just his tablet. He's got his tablet on the corner.
I think he's trying to bait the shots out to get him firing first so he could pop around the corner and get the kill.
I'm trying to see, where did he reposition that drone to? Because I know he moved that drone somewhere. I think that's what he's watching. Raz now on the outside here, getting past Scooby. I think he's going to make it too far, as we just saw. Only Viper scanning the area here. Oh, the timing just working out perfectly. Raz pushing the inside here. Does not ID Scooby's position properly, and that's intel for the rest of the defense as the shots ring out. Lego on the peak. Quick enough. Is Lonely Viper going to spot him out? The grenade comes out. It's a flash check. I think Raz is indeed blinded. See. Lays down here. He throws a frag out. Now Scooby on the rotation, putting the pressure on the backside. Raz not going to be ready for this. He does spin around. He's looking for him, but Scooby over the top finds the pick. Seals the deal for point number 2 of BossFight's charge here in map 1.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what we saw in the game against Mayhem, right? Really effective, kind of on both sides of the board here on Downfall, and to be expected. This is a map that BossFight has performed well with over the seasons. Is it their strongest map? No, but it's one they still are very strong on, and you cannot, discount them, even if they, act like they don't want to play it, or they may say they don't play it very well. And maybe they feel that way. Maybe they feel they don't play Downfall that well, but in my opinion, they're very strong on the map, and so I think we're seeing exactly what we kind of expected based on what we saw in round 1 with Mayhem and SEAL Team Bravo on this map. But we'll have to see what happens here. SEAL Team Bravo far from out of this thing. It's only 2-0. Score lines lie a lot of times in Onward as far as how close things get, and they are making a commendable push. They're not just getting squandered out each round.
Yeah, I mean, it could have easily worked out had Scooby been nabbed early on. He was one of the linchpins of that defense. So if somebody had picked him off, definitely could have been a different fight for SEAL Team Bravo. But now they're going to have to rethink it as they swap objectives. Now we are on lower dumpster objective building. Now, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how SEAL Team Bravo's defense holds up here. I think if they just tuck in a little bit more, right? I mean, it's a sniper really running rampant. Lonely Viper doing the damage that he is very much known for on this map, that causing SEAL Team Bravo no end of strife. See if they find a way to deal with that here in the third round.
And we don't get a quick spawn here for the lower dumpster objective. We mentioned it earlier. You're just down the street from your opponents, able to be seen and able to be shot immediately once that round timer has started. So you got to be careful. They've identified that it's not a close spawn, so they will be checking for any of the other remaining spawns that are available on this map. So for now, they'll be trying to make it to their positions while staying safe from the other possible look points, which is always unnerving, knowing that there's multiple other locations that you are unaware of that they could be shooting you.
Yeah, just panning over the east as BossFight gets set up. Taking a look at the defense here from SEAL Team Bravo as well. Nice little little V-shaped defense there, 2-2-1 split between the inner buildings. We're gonna stay high level until the action gets close.
Yeah, I wonder, it's interesting. They sent Scooby on the far out east route, pushing the edges of the map boundaries. And
Yeah, I think they're just waiting in white.
I wonder if they're trying to bait out shots onto him as if he were Viper, so that Viper in an alternate position, may possibly a more, useful position for him, a more protected position, could then rain down shots onto whoever it is, putting him down on Scooby. Now, Scooby rocking an LMG, like a true OG, might I add. He's going to be able to return that fire back in tenfold, and he's really accurate with that SA-80. Let's not discount that either. So it could be an interesting strategy if that's what's happening, but I don't think maybe that is what is in fact happening, but could be an option for you in the future. So BossFight, feel free to use that one if you need.
I think the idea there was for Scooby to check White Tower at a distance and just try and see if there was anybody in there, but he still had the opportunity to duck down, behind a little bit of cover, because if you cross on the low side, inside of this valley, when you go to check it, you're kind of already in the kill box. So going the elevated route first to check everything, and now they are in position here in the Marsox. 2 minutes have ticked on by. If you take a look at your map, what's pretty insane is Lonely Viper's position there, getting back around to the northwest side. This is one of the problems of a defense that tucks into buildings, right? You have completely obfuscated your view of 90% of the map in a lot of cases. Yep. You've got very small window-like views, and that allows, sneaky snakes like Lonely Viper to get around into these unexpected positions, and then when the pressure comes in on one side and you focused on the side you believe that the offense is coming from, that is where he can do the most damage. So I'm going to keep my eye on him here for just a little bit.
Scooby and the gang, meanwhile, on the Marsoc hillside, still taking their time. No rush here. 2 minutes left on the clock. They're well within striking distance of that 2-minute mark. Legel gonna take some shots here. Intel gathering goes to engaging with the enemy here. Otherwise, still quiet. Neither team getting any picks. It's a 5v5 with a minute 45 left. This is the other thing, when a defense tucks in, this is what happens. You end up, things are probably going to start going off all over the place at one time, and maybe, just maybe, BossFight will be able to capitalize on that confusion, but just as easily that confusion could go into chaos and turn against them. So hard to really tell what's going to happen here, but Lonely Viper continuing to make his stealthy approach, so far completely unnoticed here. If he can stay quiet enough and not be seen, he can sneak in and cap this.
He is staying as quiet as possible, looking for the backs of any enemies that are exposed. Stay calm, meanwhile, manages to grab the first pick as you see Death goes down on that approach. Now Lego pressuring Hondo's building here. Callouts should come out soon. He's going to tuck in on the corner. Gotta be careful here. Stay calm does have an angle still on this position. He doesn't tuck in time. Him or Raz.
Viper knows he's been made. He's called it out. Diesel, Drunk Drummer calls out Viper's position by the red truck. Meanwhile, Diesel grabs 35. And a frag comes over the deck from Stay Calm. Viper returns favor with a flash of his own. He's under a lot of pressure here. A lot of weapons pointed at him at this point in time.
And he's got a lot of work to do, and he picks the wrong time to rush out. Scooby trades out with Hondo there in the end, and Stay Calm with the final pick onto Scooby seals the deal for BossFight. As SEAL Team Bravo nab themselves the first point of the series here in round 3.
Yeah, great play there from SEAL Team Bravo. I mean, a tight defense. You let the, you allow the attackers to get in much closer than you might otherwise if you were, actively checking angles and whatnot. But at the same time, you know that your objective is pretty well protected. I mean, as you saw when Viper was called out, there were 3 different weapons pointed at him at certain times there, and he was receiving frags and flashes and just a lot of pressure because they knew how close he really was by getting in to that perimeter. And then, things unfold on the other side, and even with numbers, it only trades out the one who was immediately refragged. So SEAL Team Bravo, even though you might not want to see them always running a tight defense, in this case, that tight defense really paying off for them and securing them that needed point here in this map.
Yeah, fantastic job by SEAL Team Bravo. I mean, again, it's one of those trade-offs. You give a lot of real estate, but if you can hold the angles, if you can hit your shots, at the end of the day, you're going to win out there, and they did a good job of coming back on that series, getting themselves a point, getting on the board, but now they've got to convert Marsox, and that's what we have not seen SEAL Team Bravo do on Downfall today.
Yeah, no, not at all, unfortunately, in any of the rounds so far. I don't know. I mean, maybe they grabbed one if they played Downfall in their last series, considering we were not covering that team. But, yeah, so far, no. And they really need to turn that around here, preferably. They did get close to a cap, however, in the Mayhem game, and it was on this objective. So maybe they'll have that opportunity again. I think it was Drunk Drummer in that game against Mayhem who was close to getting that cap had he just stayed outside.
We'll find out, because the next round, round 4, is underway. Mirrored spawns again, northeast for SEAL Team Bravo. See how they opt to spread out. So they're going a little bit more heavily in the north and the west commitment. 2-1-2 split here as Diesel charges down the middle towards the objective. He's going to meet 35 here in just a second, and there it is. 35 on that aggressive positioning. Such a dangerous spot to get into because, yeah, you can really do a lot of damage from these windows. They're so difficult to see inside of. And if you can get there, if you get lucky on the spawn, you can do quite a bit of damage to the offense, specifically for this northeast one and the west. All quiet here as a minute's ticked away.
Yep, Hondo able to capitalize on that distraction from Diesel in 35 there and make his way into Marsoc Towers. He's checking it out now, seeing if he can't see any possible defenders, maybe even 35 who took down his teammate.
What a fantastic frag grenade by Raz there to down Scooby on the roof. We just caught the tail end of it there, but let's take a quick look at that one. I mean, long range. We're taking a look across the map, see it out of the corner there, and he just perfectly lands it middle courtyard upstairs on the roof. That is a down Scooby. He's going to be able to give call-outs, though, so not the worst case scenario, but Raz also doesn't know he got anybody.
Yeah, that's always the tough thing about those frags. Unless you see some kind of ragdolling or the body flops out, into your point of view, or you happen to go by that spot later and see it, there's no way for you to really confirm or even know if you effectively got that kill. So while frags are great, you cannot deny their equipment utility. There is something to be said about the lack of information that could be obtained from that as well.
They have ID'd that Scooby is there, though. I did hear Raz calling out that he does hear the shot, the talking there. Lonely Viper, meanwhile, perfectly on time as we pan over to Stay Calm. manages to nab another member of the offense, and that's going to leave Hondo kind of alone here as an island in the east. 35, quickly able to scoop him up as well. Not sure if he was hearing him or just a well-timed peek, but just like that, BossFight doing a great job of picking him apart. As I say that, Drunk Drummer starts to even things out a little bit as he takes the Lonely Viper approach on the long northwest push here.
Viper making a sweep through the south now to come back and cover over towards the objective now that they're pretty confident that they've cleared out the east, and that confidence comes with point. Raz now looking to be the next target of Viper, and he is. Him and 35 going to coordinate shots and hit simultaneously. Now it is all up to the lone remaining Cowboy, Drunk Drummer, and he's going to snipe Viper. He's going to be the Viper sniper in this map. He's going to win today's sniper duel. In this round, Drunk Drummer will be the last member left for SEAL Team Bravo. He's got a lot of work still as 4 members of BossFight are still effectively able to communicate, and that's going to be it. SEAL Team Bravo still, unfortunately, unable to convert that offensive round. They'll go down 3-1 here in the map, and BossFight just need to secure this next one to move on.
Yeah, just taking a quick look at that very well-aimed shot onto Lonely Viper as he crested the hill by White Tower. Very quickly picked off, but the rest of the BossFight defense still prepared, still ready to go, knew exactly where he was, especially UC Death, who had gone down to him just moments earlier and was revived. And that is going to put BossFight onto map point here in map 1. SEAL Team Bravo has to hold his defense and then put up quite a bit more points. They still have to convert a Marsoc. I mean, even if they grab this one and start to even things out, again, it is going to be, can they deal the damage on offense? And so far, they really struggled to do so. And, you know, it's hard. I haven't even really been able to figure out what it is that's making their offense so, at least perceptibly ineffective. I mean, I think a lot of it just comes down to desyncs. They've got people pushing just mere seconds apart, but just enough to give defenders time to sort of get the picks and be able to refocus their positions. But overall, I mean, they've been playing really well. It's just has not been their day. You know, sometimes it's not your day.
Yeah, it's really not. And I mean, again, this is technically a newer team. Again, there's a lot of seasoned players, but seasoned players doesn't make a seasoned team. Communication, synchronization, all of that stuff, just knowing each other well enough to know your typical play style, what you typically will do on a map, on an objective, on a spawn. That's stuff that comes over time. You can't just force that stuff. I mean, yes, there's a good chance that you could have built that up over the course of getting to know each other in comp lobbies or pub lobbies or what have you. But it comes with time, and I think that's one of the things that's becoming a bit more effective for BossFight. BossFight's also a well-trained team. I mean, if you listen to any of their call-outs, when the camera is close by, you can hear them. They have their own distinct radio call-outs and way of calling things out so that they don't necessarily give away any intel, but they're able to effectively communicate that with their team and let them know what's going on.
Absolutely. SEAL Team Bravo now on the defense of their lives. Defense of the day. The defense that's going to keep them in this series as the shots ring out. Stay calm. Ducking bullets like Neo from the Matrix. And bullets rain down all over this objective building on both sides. They've got 2 sets of guns firing. Lonely Viper had a few shots in there. And Scooby-Doo. Oh, and it looks like Scooby-Doo just dropped. Oh, we literally saw him vanish before our very eyes on the roof of the North Hotel there.
He was popping in and out there just before the round started, so I don't want to say I'm not surprised, but
I will say far better to drop when a teammate knows you've dropped. Because having somebody drop out mid-round and then you don't know that they have vanished really can screw up your push. Now BossFight at least has the ability to adjust and understand that they're working with one less. But, that's the problem with doing internet tournaments. You're at the mercy of the connectivity of the day. You know, your router has some weird problem, your local internet goes out. That's the struggle, but hey, the price we pay for being able to run these across regions, across countries, you know, it's a big deal.
Just running a local event is subject to the mercy of certain people. You know, your electricity, what happens, you know, your power goes out. Then no matter what kind of an internet connectivity you have, you're still not playing. Raz gonna grab Viper there. He's still up.
Lego with a very nice M203 shot into the objective. Drunk Drummer, though, gonna get that res out. And now Lego's looking for any sort of confirmation here if Diesel re-peaks. It's gonna be a 3v5 now, I believe, if I've got my numbers correct. Let's take a quick look at that replay there as well. We saw only Viper shot and then just catching the tail end of Lego's nice little M203 shot.
Hondo may be able to catch the back of 35 here. I think 35 is aware from the frag that Hondo tossed out the window, however, that he is up here. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But Legel, meanwhile, going to find Diesel on the objective once again. That is, of course, the risk you take when you peek after being rezzed. You're essentially just one shot from that point forward in the match. I mean, it's really tough to take any damage after that without being taken out completely. So a risk to leave him there. I maybe to counteract that in the future, you can res and rotate out the one shot and keep the guy with the, you know, the res ability on the objective. And there it is, Hondo finding 35 on the backside as he continues on his push unknown from that Volk tower, or from that Marsoc tower, I should say. And it is a 3v2.
I love this rotation from Drunk Drummer. I mean, immediately getting into coverage on that objective room. You know, I mean, he was there within seconds. Stay calm. Nabbing UC death is going to leave just Lego alive. At least standing. There are 2 reses available, but unlikely to happen here in the minute and a half ticking down, especially with their relative positions right now. Not likely going to be something that's going to work out for them. Lego scanning over the windows. Hondo should be able to spot him out here at that distance. Maybe not. Possibly just going for the call-outs here.
Yeah, I think it'd be easier for Hondo to just give the call-outs. Stay calm. Drunk Drummer and Raz are all in positions to where they could effectively take out Legel as he approaches the objective. He's going to be in a rush here soon enough as we just cross the 1 minute left in the round. He'll get that 30-second beep on his watch here shortly, and that will put him in a position to have to make moves. And granted, they do have that buffer. They can lose this round without being in too much trouble, but I think Raz going to spot out Legel here on the corner. Yeah, you see his laser come up, but Legel going to pull off.
There it is, the information, just enough. Hondo there able to find that nice long shot. Get SEAL Team Bravo their second point here, so getting closer, but again, now comes the bane of the day. The Marsoc round on Downfall. This is, I mean, I feel like this is going to set the tone, right? I think if SEAL Team Bravo gets a cap here, or even if they get just a round win here, I think they could start to build the momentum into the second map, and I think they absolutely need that. You know, that confidence boost to get themselves situated better for the coming round.
Yeah, well, hopefully as well, BossFight won't lose a person after that round reset availability window has expired, because of course you hate to see, especially, you know, in these postseason games when more is on the line than at any point throughout the season, to see a disconnect like that in the middle of a round and not to be able to rectify it and you know, reset the round and start again. It's tough, but it does happen, and you know, those are the risks we take, as was mentioned. And you know, BossFight, longtime veterans, able to take one on the chin, definitely. You know, they've had their share of upsets in their history as well, in postseason events, so it's nothing they're not accustomed to. But to say that they're about to give up is completely understating. They are not going to just let SEAL Team Bravo walk away with any more points. You can bet that they're going to put a pretty solid defense up, and I would bet that this is going to still end up being BossFight's map.
Well, we will see. We've only got a few more moments until the round kicks off. Get ourselves situated for this sixth round of the series.
Yeah, I'll check Boulder. You check Crater.
Check your crater. Bend over. Let me check your crater.
Oh boy, Lonely Viper not doing the family-friendly things in the spawns, but hey, what can you expect? At this point, you start to lose all hope of sanity.
To be fair to the players, it's not like they can see a camera and know they are being watched
Oh,
at
absolutely.
that moment.
Oh, no, it's not his fault. In fact, it was pretty funny, so I'll give him a pass, but it's exactly the kind of thing I would say after playing for 4 hours. Diesel! The first one out. Yet again, I think it's the second time today that or in this map that I have seen him go down first on a little aggressive peek here, and now Hondo challenging.
There's 2 of them over there.
Yeah, he does know that I was going to say. I don't think he knows he's challenging too, but he does. Scooby and Viper both panning over that area, looking to see if they can grab themselves a pick on to Hondo. Let's take a look at it from the defensive side.
I'm gonna try and stop him getting.
Ooh, shots coming out. Doesn't land on Viper.
Stables now.
I think that's a different guy, Viper.
Maybe those means it's 2. That means it's 2. The one-
Interesting to see the defense so heavily invested in the East. I mean, one person on OBJ, if Stay Calm slips through 35's grasp, and, well, I guess there's Legel in that North Dark Room to watch down, but, I mean, otherwise, things could go wrong.
I think that should be the new tagline for Onward. Things could go wrong. That's if that doesn't just describe every Marsoc push I've ever been a part of, I don't know what does. A quick look at that replay from earlier in the round. Nice little pick onto Diesel. Kick things off. Still the only pick until I say those words, and 35 grabs a nice kill onto Stay Calm there. Gonna put SEAL Team Bravo down to 3. I mean, this is not where they want to be.
No, I mean, they have plenty of time to get where they're going, but they really don't have a lot of support to help get them there. Raz going to be unsupportable from Drunk Drummer's position currently. And UC Death just decides to take a quick look and spots out Raz. There's no shot at a refrag from Drunk Drummer at the moment, and Hondo is just unfortunately, you know, with the other members of his team having gone down, he's just so disconnected.
In the East, whereabouts?
Not to his own fault. I mean, again, it's because of the spread across the board being thinned out by the defense, not because he has intentionally, you know, put himself out of position. But UC Death is starting to check this West Street. He should have seen that push across from Raz, and so does Legel. Legel now looking in that direction. Viper should be able to see it, however, from the high elevation, and he does. That SKS with the 12X really coming in handy. Now it's just 2 members of SEAL Team Bravo left. Drunk Drummer going to be one of them, so Viper needs to be careful. He could end up getting himself sniped again, but unlikely considering the positioning here versus previously.
Drunk Drummer he wants that UC Death pick, and the shot rings out. He does not land it. That is not what you want to see. He has still got a lot of work to do, and an extra pick would have been really nice for a minute and a half left in the round. Pressure from Hondo coming in on one side, and Drummer just ducking the bullets of Lego there.
Yeah.
Oh, Hondo with the unfortunate nade toss. Doesn't quite make it into the building. Downs himself. Just going to leave Drunk Drummer as the remaining member 35 rains bullets down. Unfazed. Drunk Drummer just taking his time here. He's got a lot of defensive pressure coming on all sides. Is he going to be ready for Viper, who's panned out over the top of him with the sniper rifle? He isn't. Only Viper finds the headshot, seals the deal here in map 1, and BossFight take map 1 4-2.
Well, I mean, there we have it. Like I thought, BossFight able to take the map. SEAL Team Bravo still, as you mentioned, not able to get those conversions on Marsoc. I mean, they just cannot seem to get the point. They've had opportunities. They've had looks. There was even a cap attempt in that first matchup on this map versus Mayhem. there's just still something going on there that they've got to work out in order to just be more effective on Downfall. But overall, still a great map, still a good battle between these two teams, and I am not disappointed in either of them, realistically.
No, nor should anybody else be. It's been a great series to watch overall, but now we're ready for map 2. If you heard the spoiler sounds, that is the music of the game telling you what that map is, then your prediction doesn't count. But if you have any thoughts on what that map is going to be before I pull it up, now is the time to put it into the chat, because map 2 is gonna be, that's my drum roll, which is terrible, Bizarre. Talked about how we haven't seen it, but now we are gonna see it. And that is, that warms my heart. It's one of those maps that personally I'm not a fan of playing, but I do love casting it. I do love watching the action that these teams bring to this map. The strategies are great. The aggressive play is great. And I think SEAL Team Bravo, you know, picking into this map, obviously confident, but they definitely have had some fantastic plays on this map this season. I remember at least a couple of games where they made some really fantastic plays, so I'm excited to see how they deal with it. But BossFight, again, not a slouch. I think they're going to make them work for it.
Absolutely going to make them work for it. I mean, BossFight is it's not weak here.
No, not at all. Not by a long shot.
So we see some really sneaky stuff come out from BossFight in this. I've seen some really impressive snuck-in caps from their team on this. On this very first objective that we have for this map. So we'll see. But SEAL Team Bravo really need to bring it here. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. Every round, every point, big deal for them.
Just like we said, every single matchup is going to be, you know, important. There's no, you know, throwaway rounds here. It's the 2 rounds per per series, and final scores will dictate it all, so you've got to put 110% into each and every one. I mean, we're going to see maximum effort in round 7 of map 2 here in this final series for sure, if it gets that far. If either of these teams let the other team get that far, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, we shall have to see about that. I'm sure BossFight are like, please, Lord, let us get this over with. You know, they are about 8 hours ahead of us now, so they're coming up on about 10 o'clock over there in the EU. So I'm sure they're all hoping to get this over and get their tea in or whatever it is they might have before bed and crawl into their beds, get nice and warm, and get ready for tomorrow.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of that sounds great to me on the West Coast of the United States. So I am with you, EU. Let's drink tea and take naps together after this series, because it has been an emotional roller coaster on this series. So let's get right into it. We're not wasting any time. BossFight heading into the series on the defense. We'll see what they opt to do. Is that? Oh, I thought I saw a shotgun on the back of one of these teammates. I was gonna say, what? Who picks shotgun? Yeah, I was gonna, you know, come on. What strategy is that to follow that player the whole match? Trying to see what strategy that's going to be, but no, it's indeed a rifle. So let's take a look here at the push from Stay Calm. He does catch a couple of rounds from UC Death, who is going to ID that cross. So Stay Calm does not have the element of surprise anymore now. Lego over there going to be waiting for him in ambush.
All kinds of ambushery going on the western side. Meanwhile, Drunk Drummer and Diesel pretty uncontested as they kind of waltz up through the center.
Yeah, the grenades come flying in. And 35, really the only one. This is such an interesting defense for this objective. They got 4 people not even within spitting distance of that objective.
And the East just got weakened as Scooby trades. Viper is on a rotation back, but is it going to be enough? Seriously, 35 goes down here, and UC Death is too slow or doesn't spot Drunk Drummer on this push. This is a cap. This could be a very, very overlooked defensive flaw for BossFight here. Oh my goodness. Drunk may get spotted by UC Death here, who is checking back towards the center, but otherwise completely unaware that he's here. But finally, 35 able to catch Drunk Drummer underneath one of the stalls, and that stops what could have been a very stealthy cap for SEAL Team Bravo.
Lonely Viper now on the back side of this offense. It's hard to even tell with the rotations they've had, but Lonely Viper now on the inside of Blue Room here had to come all the way back from the east. Now could catch Diesel Resing Hondo here and find two. Meanwhile, Stay Calm on the north side does find one. Hondo coming up over the top of Viper, was hoping to drop down, but Viper just to nab that shot. Diesel with the response.
With a pistol
With
response.
a pistol response onto Lonely Viper, excuse me.
I was impressed. I was like, wait, that gun sounds a little pithy compared to the big boy guns we hear normally firing at each other, and sure enough, it was the M9. He was holding it so he could still be armed while he was rezzing Hondo initially. I guess he just never changed weapons. Just kept with the pistol until that kill was done. I don't know if he's out of ammo. I doubt it, considering how early on in the round we are and how few shots have actually really been fired, if you think about it.
Yeah, it has been a relatively quiet, bizarre match. I mean, that's unusual for a map like this where the sort of crossfire and suppressive fire is king. Especially having to check all these stalls. Such a ton of work. So many bullets committed just because you think you see something moving behind a piece of wood.
And I don't know how many times I've shot a fan in this map through a window, but goodness. way to go, Downpour. 10 out of 10 on juking old Sleepy on my side.
The pump fakes on positioning of objects has definitely gotten me quite a bit.
Raz now following a similar route to what Drunk Drummer was moments ago, but 35 in a different position, so it's possible Raz be able to fight back this time to see the defender before the defender sees him. And I think Raz might have heard 35's last call out. He does check that direction. And there goes Stay Calm grabbing UC Death. It is a 3v1, and there it is. I think Raz does spot. He does spot 35, but he's not able to get the shots to come through. 35 going to return fire. He doesn't quite know what he's shooting at, but he's going to rotate onto the objective. Raz runs out of ammo, but Stay Calm is there on the backside to clean up the round. And SEAL Team Bravo do it. They take their Marsoc round and go 1-up here on Bazaar.
It is getting that first round. Starting off with a little bit of momentum. Definitely what they need to do to try to take this map away from BossFight. Take a quick look at that Lonely Viper replay from earlier and gets that flying shot onto Hondo, and then Diesel with the very nice pistol pick. Downing Viper and confirming will, in fact, get him that kill. But in the end, it is going to be a nice little coordinated push through the center. And you see it there. That's what I'm talking about. Is when the team sort of comes together and has the pressure equally from all sides of the objective, that is when you are most effective. Stay Calm and Diesel, doing the bulk of the killing there, but really it was a team effort to apply the pressure from multiple points, getting them that win. We'll see now what that looks like when BossFight has a crack at it on the same objective.
Yeah, that defense just very surprising to me. I mean, I don't know, maybe BossFight just playing around with things a little bit. Maybe they're experimenting with some new styles of defense to try and throw off other teams in the later rounds of this postseason. Because, I mean, you have to remember, these teams go up against each other with the exception of the NA and EU teams. They go up against each other a few times throughout the course of a season, and they start to learn each other's position. I mean, down to the player. You'll be watching casts and you'll hear a player call out, oh, X person is here, just like we thought he would be. Because they know, they've watched enough casts of that team, or they've played that team enough times and died by that player to know, I need to check here for X person or Y person. So it really starts to become a different game for these more seasoned teams, because they have to basically go back and always consider that everything they've ever done is known at this point. And that's not a tough thing to do once you're 10 seasons in and still trying to come up with new plays and new defenses.
Yeah, innovation is still absolutely the key to victory in this game. I mean, we've seen metas evolve throughout the seasons as teams have to find new ways of dealing with situations. Raz there, finding the first pick on Dolego as Scooby rounds the stairs up here looking for that response kill. Raz does pop the corner just in time. Scooby's gonna find one. Is he gonna be ready for Hondo in this corner? I don't think he is. Hondo rushes the corner, grabs the frag on Scooby, but Scooby able to confirm his kill, and that's a pretty big deal. I mean, that is going to be
also important.
Yeah, that is going to do a lot of good for the boss fight offense. But SEAL Team Bravo now going to be breathing a bit of a sigh of relief, picking up those 2 kills right out the gate. Right along with Viper here for just a moment.
I gotta ask myself why.
Kids, cover your ears.
Are we born to suffer? I feel like we're born to suffer.
Always dangerous getting into the head of Lonely
I'll
Viper.
check the crack in the wall, see they pushed up on the east. God, we're so fucking.
All right.
Relatively calm push, as to be kind of expected here from these teams. I don't think BossFight. I mean, I don't know. Maybe BossFight toning down the aggression for this objective because of that last round. You know, losing that last round, that defensive round to this team could have put them on the back foot. Like, oh shoot, maybe we underestimated them on Bazaar a little bit, or vice versa. And of course, to have lost 2 early in the round like that is also not a good start. So,
no, definitely not. And that's, you know, that angle is like, if you can get there, if you can get into the north wall, it's such a nice way to split the defense into at least 2 different lanes. You know, that way you're not approaching from the same side. But there is that risk. There is that crossfire risk if the defense takes the opportunity and takes the risk to go out there and try to get those early shots out. You know, it could pan out, but it could also lead to 2 of your members going down early. So yeah, BossFight suffering a little bit on that pick. Scooby though did get a little aggressive, to be honest. A little bit more to push in alone like that to try to confirm that kill. I can see why, but Hondo, you know, played that correctly. He stayed quiet. He waited for the confirm that he knew was going to try to come out from a team like BossFight. He ended up capitalizing on it. So good on him for that heads up play. All quiet here as 2 minutes tick down and the last 3 of BossFight get set up in the east and I'm sorry, the east and north. I do have my directions correct.
yes, this map is oriented correctly, so north is up. Unlike Downfall, which gets me every time, and I'm like, pick out the north spawn. Oh wait, that's east.
Just take a quick look at that Scooby replay. I forgot I've got that queued up, all ready to go. Nice little pick by Hondo there.
I'll start calling you replayman.
You better. You better. Hey, if you've got the instant replay system, you use the instant replay system. And we've got plenty of things to replay here as the teams have been doing a very good job of battling back and forth. Honestly, it's hard, you know, you don't even know which one to pick sometimes. take 3 or 4 and then you realize you got one. You see Death manages to knock Hondo out of the running. Drunk Drummer is going to be alerted off of those shots. See Death's going to be hearing the footsteps now. He's tucked it down the corner. See Death just... You try to just wallbang him right there? I don't think that works.
No, I think he anticipated a push out from the main exit there.
Okay.
And instead, Drunk Drummer ran across and tucked into the other side. So just a misanticipation, basically.
See, Death rounds the corner. Doesn't get Drunk Drummer. He's just on the right side of it. Stay calm. Also not in the correct position at the correct time. But Drunk Drummer there does manage to nail Lowly Viper. You see Death rounds the corner, finds another, and 27 seconds remain as Stay Calm pushes the inside. But SEAL Team Bravo will be the one that gets that round win on that final pick. A really nice pickup there in the end. I mean, you know, blow for blow, basically, and they nabbed up that final seconds type of offensive push really, really well, and they are up 2-0 on that, what I consider to be a pretty difficult objective to both attack and defend.
Yeah, both teams really have their work cut out for them on this next one, but you know, it's another one where we do see caps on it on a semi-regular basis, right? I mean, and if not caps, we see a lot of teams getting really, really close to it. So I expect to see the same here. Not really sure which team will do it. SEAL Team Bravo's gotten close to a couple of caps in this map and others. BossFight have also done the same. I really don't know. I think this might be the map SEAL Team Bravo is able to overcome BossFight, though. They are looking fairly good on this map so far.
Absolutely. Now let's take a look at what objective we've got to deal with. Looks like Mini Market is where we're going to be heading next. I don't know. This one with BossFight on the defense, you know, they definitely got punished for that defense in round one, right? The way off objective, super far rotation-y type of defense. So I wonder if they're going to learn from that, tighten things up a little bit, try to stay closer to the objective, really deny that sort of final push rather than reaching and trying to grab points early on, or if they're going to get, you know, they're going to get a little boss fighty as we saw them get.
Or boss flighty.
Boss fight or boss flight. We'll find out which one is coming at you here as round number 3 gets underway.
And we will be getting the long spawn. I mean, realistically, I think all the spawns for this particular objective aren't close. But they'll have a bit of distance to cover, so they'll split off and spread the map, as we've seen them do quite often in this stage of the tournament, in this postseason series. They've constantly went with that kind of solo, spread out, you know, they don't want their team to be all clumped up in one area kind of strategy. And so far, it's been effective. A bit slow, but still effective. They're still getting in there. They're still getting within the red zone, if you want to call it that. That last 10 to 15 yards before the goalposts, and you know, so they are effective. It's just not quite been effective enough today against some of these other teams that they faced off against. So, but again, impressive showing thus far in Bazaar. Excited to see what they're going to do here on this objective. The boss fight defense, I would say, pretty standard, pretty typical of just about any top ranked team, or even into the mid ranges. In an excessively impressive grenade.
Gracious! Oh boy, Alberto, that surprised even me. Let me go ahead and play that replay because we did capture it. Just sitting here minding our own business, looking at the mini map. We see Lonely Viper push that corner. I'm like, hey, why is he rushing up that corner? And kaboom, a fantastic nade toss. Couldn't have been placed really any better if he'd have tried.
Viper hit the nuke on zombies. Kaboom.
Kaboom indeed. 35 manages to nab Diesel in a tucked in little position in the alleyway there, and that's gonna knock SEAL Team Bravo down to 3. Now it's a repeat of the last round, but the team names have switched. SEAL Team Bravo gonna have to attack an objective with just 3 up.
Three is a number I like, though, you know, for still attacking this objective. When I'm down below 3 is when I start to, when I'm on Marsoc. If I still have 3 people, you know, you can still coordinate a good bit with 3 people and make it work and get in there and get the cap done. I mean, you just need to make the right calls at the right time and keep those people moving. And you can definitely overcome a situation like this one. I mean, they are blind in certain areas still. You can always slip through gaps, because no matter where they're positioned, they have to be looking the right way. And then above that, they have to be shooting at you to get the kill. So there's a lot of conditions available to where you can make your way through. It just has to be the right timing and the right call.
Raz here does make it around to the north wall. I think UC Death has ID'd him already, so he's going to have a hard time making the rest of this push without the pressure from Hondo and Drummer in the south, keeping some of that attention. But there's a lot of boss fights still left to chew through here. Oh, and Scooby with the fantastic shot onto Hondo there in that that street cross. Holy cow.
Yeah, now it is going to be a tricky situation here for Drunk Drummer and his companion Raz, 2 members of Steel Team Bravo who are left, and Drunk Drummer and Lonely Viper, who apparently are sniper magnets to one another, trade out, and they will be giving each other's teams call-outs on that. Raz being the only member left for Steel Team Bravo to be able to do anything. Scooby going to probably get the res after he goes ahead and confirms Drunk Drummer. Still leaving BossFight with 5 up against poor Raz, all by himself here, trying to make his way to the objective, and he does seem to have the drop possibly on UC Death.
He's going to have a lot of intel, but he doesn't have a lot of time to act on it as 60 seconds pass, and taking a bit too much time to get behind UC Death here. They're both moving at exactly the same speed, so will one catch the other? We may be here for a while trying to find out. I mean, Raz could basically at this point just sprint across. Only Legal on the objective there, really there to stop him. 40 seconds left on the clock. Does find Legal. There it is, and you see Death
helps
on the
him.
panic shot. Finds one, Raz finds another. 30 seconds left. 2 members of BossFight. The backside of Raz was exposed there to 35 for just a second. Lonely Viper now on the objective looking for that push. He is ready for that pick, but wow, what a fantastic play there by Raz, and the unfortunate team kill from UC Death almost helping to get that 3-1 lead, or 3-0 lead to SEAL Team Bravo, but BossFight instead scooping up their first point of this map.
Yeah, good play there either way from Raz. I mean, team kill definitely helping him out, keeping his backside clear once he was able to also down UC Death there. But man, gosh, you got to give it to Viper, being able to just draw up like that with those 12x scopes on his weapons on just about every map at this point, and be able to get those close range kills. Not everyone can do that. It is something you learn over time to be able to, two-eye aim with large magnification scopes. So really did a great job at clutching that out, getting that kill. But Raz just inches away from staying up and even possibly getting that refrag to clutch the map. And that would have been a heck of a clutch, a real highlight reel clip for STB had he been able to pull that one off.
Yeah, kudos to Lonely Viper on the good rotation and the quick snap there to deal the damage and get them that point. Now SEAL Team Bravo on the defense here for Mini Market. And, I feel like they could take this to a 3-1. And, yeah, I don't know. The way BossFight's been kind of approaching this objective, this map, been a little lackluster. I don't know what it is. It's probably fatigue, if I had to guess. As a player at this stage in the game, you're pretty tired. I mean, like you said, EU's dealing with a pretty late time anyway, so I don't know. We'll see. I think SEAL Team Bravo is poised and has been playing well enough to definitely take this map away. Should they put the extra effort in here? Let's see what happens in round 4.
We don't even need that window.
BossFight reading out their codes. Viper hoping to get a cap, hoping to be Capper instead of Viper.
I think they're using a drone. That's why.
Well, they need it to take the lead and get to defense. That's definitely on their minds. Offense getting set up on the eastern side, sweeping across the courtyard here. You can see Scooby, UC Death, and 35 kind of covering the push across the east. Scooby going to clear the upstairs kayak, but the rest of the defense, SEAL Team Bravo, all tucked in. Not getting too far off objective. And there's the pressure from Legal onto Blue Room. Does not find a pick. A little more suppressive fire, but nothing the defense has to deal with just yet. Now, what's interesting is they've stacked most here on the western side. Usually you'll see 2 or 3 members going into this courtyard on the east, but they have opted to stack almost all on the side of the objective, sort of giving BossFight all of these buildings to work with. I don't know. Don't know that I would give up all of the building. At least Station 1, Drunk Drummer's kind of a last, like a point of failure or the final point of stoppage for anybody coming out of that courtyard, but he's only one man. You're gonna have quite a bit of crossfire to help deal with that. Meanwhile, Lego, I mean, like a one-man army, putting suppressing fire, throwing nades out into the courtyard here. Really trying to make it seem like the team is coming from this side.
Yeah, and there it is. Finally, Viper and Raz looking at each other, trading looks back and forth here on the north, and finally Raz able to spot Viper out between those pallets and get that kill, but he was quickly working his way down this northern side and sneaking up on Raz and the rest of the SEAL Team Bravo defense. But now that's been taken care of. It's a 4v5, and SEAL Team Bravo is looking good for their 3rd point right now, but we still have a lot of this round left. 3 minutes, well, 2 minutes, 40 seconds left on this clock.
Yeah, they've taken residency inside of this courtyard, so they have started to use this real estate given to them by the defense. We'll see how effective they are in using it. Not a lot of super exposed positions. I mean, Hondo's in a nice little tucked in window spot there. Raz still kind of watching from the north, so not super easy to find, but Scooby's opting to take the slow roll approach for this and check every possible angle.
35 coming out of the kill room, as a lot of teams refer to it. Looking towards that blue garage near the objective. Stay calm, going to be stayed in the corner as he defends this last front. I mean, 2 minutes or a minute and a half left. BossFight definitely positioning. They're going to strike at once. It's going to be a bit of confusion here, but will SEAL Team Bravo's net hold?
Scooby just inches away from Drunk Drummer's position in the corner here. He should be ready for somebody here. This is a pretty common little spot for folks to sit in these days. Especially when you've got this whole courtyard, you know what I mean? It's almost like a trap. Like, hey, I don't... why is there nobody in here?
Enemy blue.
Ooh, stay calm on the rotation. Does get caught out. Scooby does have the look on that, but he will get killed and confirmed out by Raz there. Stay calm, meanwhile, still engaged in the UC Dead 35 firefight. Now it's a 4v2. Last 2 members of BossFight dealing with 45 seconds on the clock and not a lot of time to do the work they need to do.
Honestly, surprised I'm not seeing more rotation back towards the objective from the defense, mostly from Raz, just to give a little bit more support on objective. Because Stay Calm and Diesel can technically go down and lose out. I mean, there you have it. I mean, Hondo and Raz almost not able to grab 35 there as he crossed the road. So that could have ended differently. And, you know, things are always unpredictable here in Onward. But either way, SEAL Team Bravo does pick up 35. They pick up their 3rd point and continue their lead here with a 2-point stretch on Bazaar. BossFight really going to have to make every round count from here on. They are on the lifeline.
Yeah, they still need these points. I mean, they had those early losses against G-Men that they wanted to recover from. They managed to take one away from Mayhem. They took the first one here, but this would be the 3, right? This would be the right down the middle, 3 out of 6. And then it would come down to basically a points tie, points for and points against. Yeah. So, you know, they can't be giving this up. They've got a defensive round. They got to win here. And then they got to come back out on offense and try to convert. They got to try and put to at least the kills. You know, they got to just win by kills from here on out. But that's 15 kills you got to get across 3 rounds. No small feat. Yeah, no small feat, even across 5 people.
Yeah, that's just asking everyone to do their job and get 1 kill, just 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, heck, how many rounds do you go sometimes in a match where your team wipes someone and you've not seen the first lick of a pixel of an enemy, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I've had many of those rounds where I'm still running towards the objective, and next thing I know, it's like, victory, the enemy team has been eliminated. I'm like, I didn't even see the enemy team to be eliminated.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, honestly, in the postseason, that would be like a godsend. You know, oh, thank goodness, I don't the pressure's not on me, right? Like, somebody else won for me. But no, I mean, everybody's got to put in a maximum effort today that we have seen every player do or try to do something spectacular to try to get these round wins. Fighting against all odds. And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this Onward thing. For everybody at home is showcasing these players who put in the time, deserve to be rewarded, playing hard, putting it all out on the field, and having a good time while they're doing it.
Sure enough, and Stay Calm's going to grab Viper as he tries to get aggressive on the north to get into Kiot building. Meanwhile, Drunk Drummer and Diesel just inside the center courtyard. Of course, they did get the quick spawn, so getting close in is not hard to do. Diesel going to grab Scooby, but also grab Drunk at the same time, just through the crossfire. And that is unfortunate, but he does confirm Scooby-Doo 35, trying to slide up to possibly get a refrag. I'm not sure I would slide into the exact position of
he was going for the res initially. He was trying to get the Scooby res before Diesel confirmed, but confirmation is in. There is not going to be any Scooby revives here today, and that's 2 massive players gone for BossFight. You get your captain out, and you get your main sharpshooter out. Oh, that grenade. Oh my goodness. I had to try landing on the ledge above 35 there. That might have been grenade of the day had it landed, but a good attempt nonetheless.
Hondo and Diesel slowly catching up to Stay Calm here at the front of the push. 35 anxiously waiting for the pressure that he knows is on its way.
He's hearing these footsteps. There's nothing worse than kind of hearing the shuffling of footsteps. It's, you know, it's like a horror movie where you're hearing...
It's like in Jurassic Park when they are getting chased by the raptors and they just see the bushes move next to them and they're like, oh,
yeah, exactly. It's that same feeling of dread that 35 has right now. He's got plenty of players to deal with. And not a lot of defenders to help him out with it, as it's just him and UC Death and Legal holding on for dear life here in this man disadvantage 4v3. 35 peeks the corner, does not land the shots onto Diesel. Now Hondo repositions his approach, and Stay Calm will help that approach as he nabs Legal in the blue room, and that's going to bring it down to 2 for BossFight. SEAL Team Bravo poised to take map number 2. Hondo finds another. And that's it, 35, the last man remaining. He's got to just defend against the cap. Stay Calm's got Pat out. 35 finds one. Is he going to check objective on the corner? He finds Diesel. There it is. SEAL Team Bravo finds the 5-1 pick, and a fantastic play there by the offense. Just enough confusion. The correct picks in the correct places. And that's going to give SEAL Team Bravo a nice little point differential to help potentially secure their second place spot. We'll have to see as the results trickle in. Take a quick look at that final replay. What happened there? I mean, a really nice defense by 35, but just not enough. There's not enough hands and eyes to cover all the different angles, and Code getting punched in there just in time. Will seal the deal, so let's give them their 2 points. My apologies, in the wrong spot there. Sleepy, give us thoughts, final thoughts.
Well, I mean, as we expected, a lot of great fights. I mean, we saw a lot of round 7s. We saw a couple of caps. We saw a bunch of great grenades, a lot of great long shot play. I mean, we got a taste of just about everything you would want to see in any kind of FPS action, right? You know, some quick shots, some snipes, some fancy frags, you know, big action plays, sneaky caps, quick cap. I mean, literally almost everything you could have wanted to see in a matchup. We saw today, and I expect we'll see the same later this evening when we see Nightfire and the gang bring up the Challenger Cup finals to find out who's going to be playing in that last spot for tomorrow's round robin group A's against some other very, very tough teams. So, you know, a lot more action to come still this weekend, but I can say that I am not disappointed. You know, I was very much anticipating a lot of action, and I got that action. So I'm I'm very happy with the turnout. I'm happy with the teams. I thank the teams for committing and playing such excellent rounds today. Of course, thanks to the viewers for tuning in on all the various platforms that we've been on here for this channel especially, but also for those of you who tuned in on the other channel for all those games. And then, you know, I don't have anything else I can say much more. I mean, Noman, I'll leave the last thought up to you, sir.
Well, that's most of my sign off. But yes, thank you to everybody for tuning in today, for being with us for the long series and the longer breaks. Hopefully the folks in venues had some battery packs and hung out and you guys enjoyed yourselves there. If you're on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, hello and thank you to tuning in as well. I do want to thank our sponsors at the top here, B-Haptics, Fixed Gaming, Rebuff Reality, Cyber Shoes, VR Cover, ProTube VR, Asterion, and HyperX. We have got a ton of prizes from pretty much everybody on that list for the folks that are duking it out here in the Round Robin A series. That is going to do it for the Round Robin A's on Saturday today for Season 10. As Sleepy mentioned in passing, the Challenger Cup final being played between ALG and Animal House is happening again on this channel as well as in venues in roughly an hour and a half's time, so 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern. The round robins tomorrow start, I believe, an hour earlier than they did today, so 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. So tune in to those. There's going to be a Group B stage that you do not want to miss. The likes of beginners will be showcasing their talents quite a bit, I'm sure. So I will be tuned into that, but I will be letting other folks cast the series tomorrow, taking a little break myself. But with that, I'm gonna sign us off. We're gonna head out. If you want to see who are the final two in the Group A series, go to vrmasterleague.com/onward and check out the championship tab. We'll have the bracket up there, or join the Discord. But otherwise, that is gonna do it from us. My name is Noman with a 4. I was joined by Sleepy with 2 3s, and we are signing off for the day. See you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night, everyone.